Welcome to the 93rd commencement of the University of Arkansas School of
Law. Please be seated. For those of you who are watching our live stream, we extend a virtual welcome to you, too. I am Margaret Sova McCabe, Dean of the Law School, and what an important day in the lives of our graduates and their guests. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm honored to introduce the Platform Party. As I make introductions, each member of the Platform Party will stand and be recognized individually. Please hold your applause until all have been presented. First, I'll introduce our guests who are to my right. First, we have our commencement speaker, Regina Hopper. Next to her, Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and the person I call my boss, Dr. Jim Coleman. Immediately next to Dr. Coleman, Vice Chancellor for Economic Development and Law Dean Emerita, Stacy Leeds. Immediately next to her, Vice Provost for Distance Education and Professor of Law, Don Judges. We're pleased to welcome our University of Arkansas System Board of Trustees. First, former trustee, Senator David Pryor, and next to him, Chairman John Goodson, who is also a law alumna. And finally, there at the end is a student, our student commencement speaker, Ezra Smith. I'll now introduce the faculty and professional staff of the School of Law, starting with the front row to my left, a Senior Associate Dean, Brian Galini. Next to him, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Will Foster. And then we have William H. Enfield, Professor of Law, Susan Schneider, Law Library Director and Professor of Law, Randy Thompson, the Sidney Parker Davis Jr. Professor of Business and Commercial Law, Mary Beth Matthews, the Ben J. Altheimer Professor of Legal Advocacy, Carl Serco, the E.J. Ball Professor of Law, Uche Ualukwa, and next to her, Professor Steve Clowney. Steve is one of our big personalities, as you might be able to tell, and we love him. And next to him is the Vincent Foster University Professor of Legal Ethics and Professional Responsibility, Howard Brill. Next we have, beginning in the far right, let me make sure I know where everybody is, we have Associate Dean of Academic Administration, Tamla Lewis, Professor Lonnie Beard, Professor Alex Nunn, Associate Dean of Career Services, Terry Chaddock, Professor Marshall Prettyman, Professor Jonathan Marshfield, Professor Ann Killenbeck, Professor Sarah Gossman, and Professor Laurent Sakharov. And then we skip the row, and here we have right behind me to my left, in the second row, Professor Sharon Foster, Professor Alan Trammell, Professor Beth Zilberman, Professor Amanda Hurst, Professor John Norwood, the Wiley H. Davis Distinguished Professor of Law, Mark Killenbeck, Associate Dean Jim Miller, and Professor Angie Doss. Please join me in thanking the Platform Party for their many contributions to the law school and university community. I'll now offer some brief remarks, and I understand they should be brief on a day like this, to the class of 2019. First and foremost, congratulations. What an accomplishment, and I really do hope that you all feel accomplished. We are proud of you. Your commitment to your legal education has prepared you to study, yes, I said study, for the bar and then pass it, to practice with distinction, and to be leaders in your community and your state and perhaps the nation. When you came to the law school in the fall of 2016, you came to us with a median age of 23, representing 16 states and 45 institutions of higher education. Perhaps you did not know precisely where law school would lead you, but you already valued justice and understood you wanted to make a difference in the lives of others. And today you leave us with the knowledge, skills, and values that make you a lawyer. There are two attributes that I briefly want to emphasize because I know you'll draw on them every day of your practice life. whether those are bar study days, trial days, or days in which you meet a client who brings you the most important case of your career. You now possess the ability to think critically and the ability to communicate effectively, particularly in writing. For lawyers, the ability to think critically isn't simply identifying the relevant law and applying it to your client's facts. It also requires common sense, reason, and strategy to represent and serve your client well. Critical thinking means you can synthesize disparate theories, align them, and refine them, sometimes in ways that will advance and change the law, as well as your client's interests. The result of your critical thinking is powerful. It yields something that we all need desperately today in society, and that's reasoned judgment. Judgments that are informed not only by knowledge, but also by our ethical obligations and professional duties to the courts, clients, and opposing counsel. Your reasoned judgment is powerful because you will communicate it clearly. Whether a pleading, an email, an oral argument, people will expect you to be clear and concise. In our communication is where we're most powerful as advocates, and the capacity to think critically and communicate clearly is what we know will distinguish you in your careers. With the knowledge, skills, and values you've worked so hard to master, you join a noble profession. Upon passing the bar, you will hold the public trust. You will speak for others. You will protect and defend their rights. And in so doing, you will preserve the rule of law for all of us so that we can thrive in a free democracy. You're going to win cases, and you're also going to lose them. And that's okay. You'll mediate and you'll negotiate. Your opinion and expertise will be sought by your clients, challenged by your opponents, and questioned by judges. And you know this, in all of these interactions, you will be professional, civil, and empathetic. For in our profession, your reputation is your calling card. Steward your reputation, protect it, and above all else, earn it with diligence and respect for all in the legal system. The final thing I'll say is I want you to understand today, you are part of this law school. You've enjoyed 3 years with us, but you'll always be part of Fayetteville, and we will always consider you part of our community. You'll join more than 6,500 living alumni of this law school who are in all 50 states and more than 20 countries. They populate all branches of government, public service, and private practice. They've held the highest levels in federal government, and they've also been the general practitioners in the smallest towns. And all of them are important, and so are you. Your professors and I are looking forward to watching with great interest and pride as you embark on the next phase of your legal career. So I extend my congratulations to you again. We will now turn to recognizing the class of 2019's graduates who are truly impressive as they represent the highest overall academic achievement in the class. Recipients, please come forward on the platform and accept your award when your name is announced. The Academic Achievement Award recognizes the third highest ranked student in our class. This graduate is Jessica Guarino. The highest academic achievement award honors the second highest ranked student in the class of 2019, and that person is Raylan Hillhouse. Raylan, please come forward. Finally, the Outstanding Academic Achievement Award goes to the student ranked first in their class. What an accomplishment. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the top student in the class of 2019, Nicholas Lovejoy. Last night, and again just now, we recognized academic achievement and high performers in the class of 2019. And I now have the pleasure of introducing this year's student speaker. Our graduating class elects this person to represent the spirit and ethos of the class. Ezra is an accomplished student. He's participated in moot court competitions, including being part of the championship team in the 2018 All-Timer Moot Court competition, where he was named Best Oralist. In his third year, he was a member of the Board of Advocates and co-chair of the All-Timer competition. He served on Arkansas Law Notes, the school's curriculum committee, and the Student Bar Association. Ezra is also a source of local pride. He attended Fayetteville High School and earned a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and International Relations from the University of Arkansas's Fulbright College. One hallmark of the University of Arkansas School of Law is the excellent state, national, and international leaders it has produced over the last 9 decades. Among the graduates who came before you are governors, including our current governor, Asa Hutchinson, ambassadors, members of the U.S. Senate, CEOs, university presidents, entrepreneurs, judges, general counsel, and even a U.S. cabinet member. To be selected by a class to be the graduating speaker indicates that his fellow graduates believe that Ezra will be a leader of the finest quality, and I know we're looking forward to following his career. So please welcome student commencement speaker, Ezra Smith.
Well, thank you very much, Dean. I'm so honored to be with you guys today, and standing up here, I can't help but think about how far we've come since we were all huddling in the atrium on our first day of orientation. And I mean, I guess I just want to share on behalf of the class with the audience how intimidating the law school experience was, or at least was for me. I mean, I came into it really believing this was going to be a new environment that I had never been around before, right? This was going to be this kind of a little bleak, very adversarial, very competitive, very I'm up and you're down, and to be ready for that, right? I was trying to read books I could over the summer to get ready for law school, and I kind of skimmed the book 1L by Scott Churros. I was watching Legally Blonde, and it just paints this picture of this place that's going to be tougher than anything you've ever experienced. And on top of that, then you get there and you're through your first couple days and you're into your few weeks and you've had classes and you start to get this other feeling, which is less of a fear of this kind of scary law school experience, but you start to feel kind of behind. And you're talking to other people in the library or in the hallway, and they're talking about things they know about the class, or they're talking about something they're getting ready for, or they're building an outline, and I didn't even know what an outline was until like Thanksgiving, so I was, and I just had this sense of I'm really behind. I'm not ready, and my classmates are ready, and they are moving on, and I better catch up. And it's at that time that I think that kind of really negative side of law school starts to come out. It's that part where you're thinking, okay, I'm behind, and I'm nervous, and I need to get ahead, and we're all on a curve, and if I want to get a good job and make my parents proud and do all the things I want to do and why I came to law school, I need to be ahead of that curve. And you start to have that motivation to get ahead, maybe to get ahead at all costs, and to say, hey, I'm not going to help other people, and I'm going to just run for this. But what I found at with our class, and I think overall, I think law school and the stereotype is probably overblown. But what I found with our class was that I was never surrounded by enemies. I was never surrounded by people who were thinking, well, I need to get up at your expense. Our law school, I think, came together, and I don't know if it was just because of the ways that we bonded as individual friends or in our friend groups, but we said we're going to go through this experience, but we're going to do it together. And, you know, I think we all kind of adopted this sense that a rising tide is going to lift all boats. You know, we strove to get really good grades, and we filled competitions. We have a lot of opportunities to compete and show skill, and we filled those competitions, and we fought hard for recognition and for the championship or whatever it was. But whenever our classmates needed help, I can remember that we were always ready. And as much as we like to hype law school, and as much as we like to assume that just nothing else is going on, and that the world stopped turning when we entered the building 3 years ago, it kept going on. And just like life, it has its ups and downs. We were able to be a part of welcoming many of our law school family members who had children over the last 3 years and who got married and got jobs, and we were able to be there and celebrate those big successes. But just like life, I mean, it had its downs. It was soaked in a lot of sadness for some people who suffered family tragedy or lost loved ones or lost a job or had to move. And I saw this law school step outside of the building, and we were there for each other. And it wasn't just in the extremes where I think it's easy to be good or, you know, to be there. We were there for each other in a really unique way that I didn't see in other places, and it was in the everyday. We were always there with a kind word. We were always there to share notes if you missed something or to flesh out a concept that you didn't understand from class. I think we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable with one another and to help each other, and there was never a sense of we're competitors first and colleagues second. I think for whatever it was, we saw that we had been brought to this place and this time because we have a common interest in the practice of law. And as we leave this time, and some of us are joining really big firms, and some are joining small firms, some are going into public interest, some are clerking for judges, some of you are really smart and not going to practice law at all. Some of you, and this is just truly unfathomable to me, have decided to continue your education and are going to go for another year or two. But we can leave here as colleagues. We can leave here looking at each other and saying, I was there for you, and you were there for me. Because in truth, and you're supposed to, I think, put a couple quotes in speech, so here's my first quote. In truth, this is not the end for us. It's not even the beginning of the end for us. This is the end of the beginning. We have done so much work to get to this point in our lives, whatever that path was. And now we have accomplished this great thing. And we're lucky that we can leave here saying that we did it together. And so I have one piece of advice that I found from a book I was reading. This advice comes from Justice Felix Frankfurter, who was Supreme Court Justice, and he was written by a young man. I think he was just finished law school, and he wrote the justice and he said, "What is the best advice you can give me when I go in to begin practicing law?" And the justice took the time to write him back, and he said, "The best way to prepare for law is to come to the study of law as a well-read person. Stock your mind with a deposit of much good reading, and widen and deepen your feelings vicariously as much as possible in the wonderful mysteries of the universe. And above all else," he said, "forget all about your future career." So I just want to take my short time with you to say that I love you all, and I'm so proud of you all, and we did it. And congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashleigh. You beautifully captured this class. And for those of you in the audience who don't know this, this is my first year as dean, and so this is my first graduating class, and I really appreciated the way, I didn't know you in the beginning, and so Ezra, I think, just captured your experience in a really lovely way. The other thing is, for me, my prior institution, we always did outdoor graduations, and right now I am tremendously thankful for the Fayetteville Town Center. Wow. So let's ignore the storm out there and celebrate the people in here. I now have the pleasure of introducing one of the University of Arkansas's exceptional leaders and our 2019 commencement speaker. Regina Hopper attended the University of Arkansas in the 1980s, completing a Bachelor of Arts at the Fulbright College. She then went on to law school. Her legal education has led her to many different careers, including in the fields of transportation, telecommunications, energy, media, communications, and law, as well as a leader in national and state advocacy initiatives. She's currently the Senior Vice President of Global Public Policy for Grid Smart Technologies, and prior to that, she served as President and CEO of ITS America, the country's largest industry association advocating for research and deployment of intelligent transportation systems. She's also served as President and CEO of America's Natural Gas Alliance, Executive Vice President of the U.S. Telecom and American Trucking Associations. Also, Regina has been a network news correspondent for the CBS Evening News, CBS Morning News, CBS Weekend News, and 48 Hours. The quality of her work was recognized with an Emmy Award for her investigative reporting while on 48 Hours. Before she went to work in the New York and DC market, she actually began her television career reporting for both ABC and CBS affiliates in Little Rock. She had also practiced law. While in law school, Regina was also crowned Miss America, as Miss Arkansas. That would be good. That's how impressed I am with you, yes. While in law school, as I said, Regina was crowned Miss Arkansas. Can you imagine? And she won the non-finalist talent award at the 1984 Miss America competition. And that year, she led Miss America's USO overseas tour. Over the years, she's continued her involvement with the Miss America Association by serving as chair of their foundation, board of trustees, and as a member of the Miss America Organization board of directors. She recently rejoined the organization to assist in instituting new governance and management best practices, while also serving as the organization's volunteer president and CEO. I'm amazed. I'm tired. She's done so much. I'm really looking forward to hearing from her. But she's also received many honors, including the Gail Pettis Ponce Award for Women in Law, which is awarded by the University of Arkansas School of Law Women's Law Student Association. And she's also served as a University of Arkansas Johnson Fellow and was named a top CEO by CEO Update and The Hill. Regina returns to Fayetteville often to contribute her time and considerate talent to the university's success. She currently sits on the University of Arkansas Alumni Association Board of Directors and the Arkansas State Society Board of Directors. She's a great champion for Arkansas, the university, and the law school, and I'm thrilled to have her here with us today. Please welcome Regina Hopper.
Thank you so much, Dean McCabe. We're so excited that you're a Razorback. We're so excited. And thank you for making me Miss America. I was never that close.
I wish I had the power.
Thank you. You know, and also, let me just say, what an inspirational speech from Ezra. Thank you so much. And congratulations to all of you all, too, as that type of a class. That's going to serve you well. Well, hello, and congratulations to the University of Arkansas School of Law class of 2019. Provost Coleman, Dean McCabe, university trustees, distinguished faculty, staff, families, and friends. I am humbled to share this day with you. It is an honor to have been asked. Thank you. I have to be honest that while I am deeply grateful for this opportunity, I did question the invitation. After hearing from Dean McCabe that I had been invited, I reached out to former Dean Leeds, and I sent her an email. and I said, I just really don't think I should be doing this. I don't know what I have to say about, since I left, were you all taking a career in such a different direction with my law degree? And she wrote back a simple email, tell that story. You know, a commencement ceremony really has two functions. First, to celebrate what you have accomplished, and second, to celebrate the commencement of your journey and your path for your careers. You got here and you will leave here with two things in common: your individual hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, and the hard work, dedication, and sacrifice of those who believe in you. When I look back at everything that I have had the opportunity to do, to see, and to influence, leaving the seats you are now in, I know that I would not have been able to be in the places to do those things and to see those things had it not been for those who took the time to teach me, to push me, to question me, and to point out when I was out of line. It is these fundamentals, the same fundamentals of a legal education: teaching, pushing, questioning, calling out of bounds, that will build the pathways for your future. Like many of you, my path started with my family and with my mentors. My amazingly gifted parents, who did everything they could to make sure that I had access to the education that I wanted, while at the same time teaching me that with opportunities comes the responsibility of making sure that yours are the shoulders the next generation can climb onto and can build above and beyond you. My mentors instilled in me that there would be goals that I may never reach, but that the failure would not be in not reaching those goals, but in not trying to reach those goals. And while I wasn't able to articulate it early on, I have come to realize that my guiding principle over the course of these last 30-odd years, that's kind of scary actually, has been that when presented with the opportunity, I didn't want to look back and say, I wish I had. From the very start of my association with the law, I deliberately chose to take multiple paths and let curiosity guide me. During my second year of law school, I was very fortunate to begin interning for a firm in Little Rock. And during that summer internship, I decided I wanted to apply for yet another job.
I would now invite Regina Hopper to please continue with her remarks.
Well, welcome to the law, right? Always changing circumstances, always changing events, and how you deal with the people who are affected by those changing circumstances and those changing events will make you successful, right? I hope all of you all are comfortable, and so I'll talk a little faster. How's that sound? And again, welcome Dean McCabe to Arkansas in the spring. So while I was saying, with my family and with my mentors and the things that I had been able to do, I wasn't able to really articulate early on what my guiding principle really was. And then it hit me, and I actually instilled it on a rock. And it's that I don't want to look back and say, I wish I had. From the very start of my association with the law, as I was saying, I deliberately chose to take those multiple paths. So during my second year of law school, I was fortunate enough to be interning with a law firm in Little Rock, and I applied for yet another job. I was honored the responsibility of representing the state of Arkansas in the Miss America competition that particular year. But during that year and a half of service, when I had to lay out of school, I didn't want to lay out of learning the law. So I convinced everyone that I could do both jobs. It was during that time that I became very exposed to the media, and I wanted to understand how the media actually worked. So many in my first year associate class were telling me, you know, oh gosh, if you go in and you try to do these things, you're going to fail. And I said, but if we don't understand, we can't move forward. We are going to be affected by the media. So I went to the local CBS affiliate in Little Rock, and I went to the partners in my law firm. And I convinced them to yet again let me do 2 jobs. I worked as a volunteer in the local newsroom at the CBS affiliate for free on the weekends, and then I continued to practice law during the week. When I was eventually offered a full-time on-air reporting job, the lead partner in the firm encouraged me to take that job. Most of the partners in that firm felt otherwise. But he told me this could be a real opportunity, not just for me, but for the law, to make a difference and to chart a new course. He said, use the opportunity to educate those who watch you in the news on the importance of the law. And if it doesn't work out, just come on back. After becoming the first female in the South to anchor a statewide election night, I got a call from the president of CBS News in New York. Aside from the fact that I thought my media colleagues were actually playing a trick on me and it really wasn't him, and I can tell you that full story later. It was real, and I was off to CBS in New York taking the law with me. I had the privilege of covering 2 presidents, to stand inside the gates of the White House, watching history being made, as well as reporting on breaking news around the world, laying the groundwork for the on-air reporter-lawyer. That combination led me to 48 Hours, where with my colleagues I earned an Emmy for a story that actually I didn't want to do. It was a story about how a young doctor, in trying to balance work and motherhood, made a fatal mistake. She took responsibility for that mistake. It was later forgiven by another set of parents, and it allowed her to go back to work and become a very successful pediatrician. Reporting and the law came together. After leaving CBS, I took that experience of merging the law and the media and worked with some of the country's greatest litigators to tell the story of the breast implant and fin-fin litigations. And without really knowing it, began executing on what has now become the field of litigation communications. Those cases also helped highlight the legal arguments that went into the Supreme Court's Daubert decision, which has now helped drive the standards for admitting expert testimony in federal court. It was a former White House source who then called in the chips on me and said, I want you to help a young general counsel from the Senate Commerce Committee who is becoming the CEO of the American Trucking Associations. I said, I don't know anything about trucks. And he said, learn it and help. And together we rebuilt the trade association that advanced public policy for trucking. That led to the same for the telecommunications industry. That led to 2 CEO positions, one to build an advocacy organization for the natural gas industry, and second, to advance a nascent intelligent transportation industry where all the verticals of my past miraculously came together. Transportation, energy, media, technology, telecommunications, and the law. They came together, and then about a year and a half ago, the same came true when I agreed to accept being a volunteer CEO, attempting to rebuild an American icon. So what does that career history lead me to pass on to you above and beyond the substance? What lessons can I share? You know, we are all so fortunate. You are so fortunate to have had the past 3 years When so many now question the value of a legal education, I say, based on my experience, if I had the power to order one law be put in place, it would be that everyone would have access to a legal education. To learn to think critically, to learn to ask questions based on fact, to learn to communicate and to be communicators and a voice of advocacy for others. I know it's hard for all of you guys to believe right now because you've aced your exams and you're going to pass the bar. But you're not always right. You're going to make a mistake. And some of them could be big ones. But mistakes can be your biggest friend if you are honest about them and if you are honest about them with others. Learn from them. Don't get dragged down from them, but take the risk of making the mistake, because taking that risk is so much greater than inaction. Doing nothing or just going along is a decision, but in my experience, it's the times that I haven't acted that I've regretted the most. Allow yourselves to always be curious. Allow yourselves to always be nervous. Trust your gut. And your gut will be an even better advisor when you accept the difference between the knowledge gained from education and the knowledge learned through experience, and understand that you need them both. Listen more, talk less. And when you do talk, talk with folks. Don't talk at folks. We all know that words are important, but how they are delivered can make or break advocacy and can advance or derail your goals and your opportunities. If you don't know the history of something, learn it. Learn from it and respect it. Make assumptions, but don't assume them as fact, and refine them based on fact. And oh, how I have learned this one. Temperament can define you. If you are so fortunate that your class exemplifies the rest of your life, as Ezra just spelled out, and you never face those who want to do you harm, hopefully that will be the case. But if you do, don't change who you are in order to deal with those people. Respectfully disagree without being demeaning. Argue about what really matters in the bigger picture, and make that bigger picture not about you, but about the good of us all. It has been wisely said here at this podium to previous classes that your adversaries may one day be your co-counsel, your business partner, or even your judge. More importantly, though, how you deal with your adversaries with integrity and empathy, and sometimes even forgiveness, will in fact help you achieve your objectives. Yes, you can be successful by stepping on others, but you will not be respected in your success. And when you are ready to give up on mankind, take a break. The good ones are out there. Sometimes you just have to seek them out. You know, this world of social media gives everyone a voice, truthful and untruthful. The practice of law, your practice of law, in whatever form it may take, will be affected and will be driven by technology. Technology, access to it, and the barriers it can both build and break down, have and will continue to create new challenges, both legal and social. It is a new, chaotic, instantaneous frontier every single day. As we have seen, the use of technology has shaken the very core of our beliefs, our processes, and our democratic principles. Use the privilege of your education in this very difficult and often confusing time, to rebuild those beliefs in our political, legal, governance, business, financial, media, and religious foundations. Be that era of leadership that thinks and leads not for individual gain, but for what is good for all of us. As lawyers, you now have the unique access to make a real difference in how this world operates. How will you use that chance? What's worth fighting for? How can you advance respect for this profession and for yourselves? Stretch your abilities as far as you can to the point of uncomfortable, and never stop learning or asking questions or being curious. Go after responsibility. Take the risk. Lay the next path, and maybe you will create something not yet defined. And in doing so, remember that not everything in life is a competition. Your career, your job is but a part of your life. Don't let it be your life. Live in the present. Spend less time here and more time here. People are what connect us, drive us, challenge us, advise us, help us. They give us the heart and the spirit to take our opportunities and turn them into successes. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. Be grateful and express your gratitude. Work to be the person that you have relied on. And remember the people who helped get you here. You will need them again, and they will need you. Once again, I am so grateful to have been asked to share this very special day with all of you. As an alumna of this amazing school, filled with amazing people, you have joined a very special family. Unlike college, your law school class will always be special to you. The experiences, the people, the challenges, the competition, the friendships, the times in which you have graduated, they are unique to you as a class. So as you now celebrate the successes that you have had here, and you head off into your futures, whatever they may be, look for those unexpected things, the unexpected opportunities on whatever path or paths you may take. Let the unexpected challenge you, and I hope one day you will have the honor of delivering a commencement address where you too can say, I don't have to look back and say, I wish I had. Congratulations.
Okay. So I do want to let you know that the National Weather Service alert is down. So for those of you who feel comfortable moving back to those seats, you may. And we will now be moving on to the main event. So as people are moving back to seats, I want you to know we will now be awarding the Master of Laws in Agriculture and Food Law. For more than 3 decades, the University of Arkansas School of Law has offered an advanced law degree program in agriculture and food law. It's the first of its kind in the United States. This program has graduated over 300 students, and alumni are currently working in 44 states and 19 countries. They serve as leaders in private practice, government, agribusiness, public policy, and academia. Master of Laws candidates, in just a moment, you'll make your way to the stage. I'd now ask Professors Don Judges and Uche Uelukwa to get in position to hood the graduates. Provost Coleman will then congratulate our graduates while I present their diplomas with the assistance of Associate Dean Tamil Lewis. Regina Hopper will also be welcoming each graduate to the Arkansas Alumni Association. It is now my pleasure to welcome the William H. Enfield Professor of Law, the Director of the LLM Program in Agriculture and Food Law, and one of the most respected food law leaders in the country, Susan Schneider, to present and congratulate the candidates for their LLM degree. Candidates, you may now make your way to the stage.
Okay, that's good. That's bigger. We have a record number of LLM candidates graduating this year. 13 students will receive their LLM degree this month, and 9 students are with us here today. It's my pleasure to introduce each individually. Hannah Catt is from Indiana. Hannah received her JD from the University of Maryland School of Law with certificates in health law and environmental law. Kelsey Davis from Alabama. Kelsey received her JD at the University of Alabama School of Law. Jean Allen Franco from Arkansas. Allen received his JD here from the University of Arkansas School of Law. Caitlyn Greene from West Virginia. Caitlyn received her JD from Duke University with a certificate in public interest and public service. Brenda Hall Bush from Pennsylvania. Brenda received her JD from New York Law School. Edward Peterson from Georgia. Ed received his JD from Capital University Law School. He also holds an LLM in employment law from John Marshall Law School and a Master's of Plant Protection and Pest Management from the University of Georgia. Justin Schwegel from Minnesota. Justin received his JD from Georgetown University Law Center with a certificate in WTO studies. Justin also holds a Global Trade Academy certificate from Georgetown and a Master of Laws in International Economic Law from Sciences Po in Paris, France. Professor Jae-il Song from Korea. Professor Song is with us on his sabbatical. He's an associate professor at Myeonji University College of Law in Seoul, and he received his doctorate of law from Seoul National University in Korea. Rob Slaughter from Virginia. Rob received his JD from the University of Richmond. He retired from the U.S. Army at the rank of colonel, receiving numerous awards, including the Bronze Star for his service in Iraq. And I congratulate Rob for his degree, as well as thanking him for his service.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you. As some of you know, food and agriculture law is my area, my passion, and so I really look forward to our LLM candidates going out and making a difference in the food system. Congratulations again. Now, we will present and hood our Juris Doctor candidates. Yeah. Our graduates selected Professor Angie Doss to announce their names, and Professors Brill and Clowney for hooding. We will also welcome Trustee John Goodson and former Trustee Senator David Pryor, who will each confer a degree to candidates who have a special place in their lives. Juris Doctor candidates, please stand and make your way to the stage for the prize.
Law Hogs 2019, are you ready? John Michael Adkins, cum laude. Joshua Daniel Lloyd Aguilar. Bradley Aldridge, cum laude, criminal certificate. Samuel Anderson. Christy Applegate. James Armstrong. SkyeChreigna, Renee Austin. Taylor Baltz, cum laude. Stephen J. Beheshti. Taylor Renee Black. Thank you. Ty Bordenkircher, cum laude. Nicholas Ryan Boyle, magna cum laude, business certificate. Cameron Alister Brewer, cum laude, business certificate. Brandon Chapman, magna cum laude. Savannah Elizabeth Clay, cum laude. Aaron Cole Cochran, magna cum laude, business certificate. G. Ellis Collier. Lauren Elizabeth Crudup. Robert Kennedy Dalby, cum laude. Kimberly Nicole Davidson. Andrew Dixon, magna cum laude. William Hunter Dodson, Jr., cum laude. Ethan Ellis, magna cum laude. Nicholas Scott Ezel. Anne Carol Farmer, magna cum laude, business certificate. Kevin Flores. Sarah Michelle Fowler. Justin John Whalen Funderman. Caitlyn Garner, criminal certificate. Ashleigh Giovannini. Madeline Joan Goss. Josie Graves. Jessica Guarino, magna cum laude. Timothy Hale. Christopher Hernsberger. Annalise Arden Henley. Connor Harold, magna cum laude. Patrick Dubois Hester. Patrick Hickey, cum laude, business certificate. Catherine Ilda Sue Hyatt. Raylyn J. Hillhouse, summa cum laude. Weston Hinson. Jacob Holmes, criminal certificate. Jordan Alexandra Honey. Jet Elizabeth Hudgens. Joel Isaac Hutchison. Joshua Hutchins. Joy Jackson. Ashika Gianth. Cody Allen Johnson, cum laude. Kathleen Annette Jolly. Daniel Robert Jones. It's okay. Marshall Allen Jones. William W. Jones. Aaron Matson Kyle. William Arthur Kellstrom, cum laude. Kristen Kennedy, cum laude, criminal certificate. Michael Ross Kopeski. Nicholas Lovejoy. Liana Marie Rabibus Luke, cum laude. Her Majesty Christina Murphy Lusk, cum laude. Tracy Lane Martis, cum laude. Katie Rose Martin. Amanda Christine Mazzone. Michael Davis McGill, cum laude, business certificate. Tyler McKay, cum laude. Megan Paige McLaughlin, magna cum laude. Jared Andrew Melton. Jonathan Keith Nichols, cum laude, business certificate. Oops. Gregory Paul Neiman II, cum laude. Shakiria Northcross. John Campbell Collier Ogle, cum laude. Chinyere Chichi Enzinwanyi Onwuchekwa. Jenna Dale Poe. Adams Pryor. Oops. Justin Ramirez. Mackenzie Robb, magna cum laude. Philip Mason Reynolds. Cameron Richards, cum laude. Payne Roberts, magna cum laude. Jose Ruiz, cum laude. Margaret Ellen Rushing, magna cum laude. Kayla Marie Sherrill, cum laude. Ezra J. Smith, cum laude. Marilyn Young Speed. Julia Diane Stover, cum laude. Jordan Patrick Sumler. Austin James Taylor. Dakota Jean Thornberry, magna cum laude. Timothy G-Mint Tucker, Jr. Megan Lee Tweedy, cum laude. Larry James Walker III. Alyssa Nicole Watkins. Wesley Brian Watts. John Walker Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2019. Graduates, on behalf of the Arkansas Alumni Association, congratulations on joining the ranks of more than 150,000 University of Arkansas alumni around the world. And your name will soon be engraved in that wonderful senior walk that is the tradition of the University of Arkansas. Excluding the class of 2019, I invite all the University of Arkansas School of Law alumni in attendance to please stand so that we may recognize you. Thank you all for being here and for your continued support of the university and the law school. Graduates, now is a very important time. We want to recognize the people in the audience who helped make today possible. There's no such thing as a self-made person. Of course, your success is possible because of your hard work, but also too because of the sacrifices, support, love, and resources of the people who join you here today. So graduates, will you please turn, rise, face the audience, and join me in applauding all of our guests who have come to celebrate you. I'm going to conclude by acknowledging what a special place Arkansas and this university is. In just a moment, I will complete my first year as dean of the law school. In a year's time, I have been welcomed by communities across the state, by the bench of the bar, by our administration, faculty, staff, alumni, and of course, the students. I chose Arkansas because this university and its law school places the highest value on their ability to have a lasting and meaningful impact on our students and the state. At every turn this year, I have learned that our potential is even greater than I thought, and I believe that of our graduates today as well. I'm fortunate now to be part of the state of Arkansas and this university, and I look forward to continuing to lead us to achieve excellence. My deepest thanks to all of you for being so welcoming of me. A few more important acknowledgments, and please hold your applause until I conclude. There are many here today who make this day special and who operate behind the scenes. I would like to recognize and thank the Claudia Burson Trio with special guest Shane Harris for the lovely music this afternoon. We thank our sign language interpreters, Alicia Adkins and Mary Wenkes. To Sarah Lynn Whitaker, Megan Wolf, and University Relations, thank you for the fine portraits of our students included today in your program. A special thank you to Jeff Gaddy for designing and creating that composite. I would also like to thank all the faculty, staff, and student volunteers who helped make this ceremony success. In particular, Michelle Payne deserves recognition for her attention to each detail and the pursuit of perfection in designing this day for you. And again, thank you to Ezra Smith and Regina Hopper for being with us today. Following the recessional, please join our reception honoring the class of 2019 in the atrium immediately outside the ballroom. I'd also like to thank you all today for tolerating a very bad weather day. We've made it through. I wish you all safe travels and be safe out there. And let's celebrate this class.